Hello, everybody. It's Jackie. I didn't realize how much my messy house you could see in the background. We're having a garage sale this weekend. And my daughters, which makes me so sad, are getting rid of all their doll stuff. So we were sorting it, and I didn't realize how visible, and my beach towels to take outside. It's there. I have a messy house. Now you know. Welcome to the weekly chat. I have really enjoyed, this is our third one. I've really enjoyed sitting with you guys, answering questions, and I just every week want to start with some ground rules. I did, again this week, turn off comments if you're not a subscriber, and you have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes at least. Feel free to unsubscribe if for whatever reason it clogs your feed. I understand you may not want to, but it just helps keep crud out of the comments. Also, green iced tea. I'm making iced tea starting this summer. I haven't done it yet. I used to love iced tea. I don't drink it anymore, but I do love iced tea. I don't like hot tea, but that sounds amazing. And wait, you're going to attempt an extended fast next couple of days. Oh, good for you. Let me know how that goes. I would love to hear about that. I actually really look forward to doing my next one. So ground rule, you have to be a subscriber to comment just to keep basically garbage, or on my grocery shopping channel, I get basically sex comments all the time, and I don't want those in the live chat, especially. Hello from everywhere, all over. I love hearing where you guys are at. Fellow Michigander, yay. Also, as always, my 5-year-old's here, so if he interrupts, it's just going to be what it is, but he probably will stay really quiet. He did last week really well. But today I will be jetting off again. School pickup at 2. The latest is 2. And my son's also doing his kindergarten testing today. So feel free to send some positive words of encouragement. I'll tell him about them afterwards, but he's very nervous. But he will do great, I am certain. Hello, everybody. You love my dark hair. Thank you. I think it's because it's extremely overcast that it looks darker, but I'm going to warn you guys, next week I'm going to look different. Next Wednesday morning, I have plans, and no one else knows about them, but you'll see. Hopefully I am not too embarrassed to get on live next week. But my grays are still all in here. They're just covered. I just literally got out of the shower and blow dried my hair. So you got fresh hair this week. And always as a reminder, I love to share with you guys because I have been transformed using intermittent fasting. So I have a lot of experience with it in my own personal life, but I'm not an expert and I can't give medical advice. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing that. I just have to say it. But kind of, I look like Jill Duggar. I have never heard that before, but her and I both have like a longer face. I can see that. First meal's cooking. Yum. I am about to put mine in the Instant Pot before we leave. Just turn it on. We're having beef and noodles, one of my favorites. What was I going to say? Oh, going off of I have a lot of experience, but I'm not an expert. I wanted to clarify. Last week, there was a little confusion on Saturday's video, or people were kind of questioning what I meant. I think most everyone got it, but I thought this would be a good place to clear it up because it's much easier for me to articulate in word response than to type it out, because I just feel like that'd be easier for me. So I said, don't copy me. And that was kind of, it's a little bit of catch your attention title. But the whole point is I do things my way because it really works for me. And I'm not saying fast or don't fast. I think there are probably fasting protocols that could work for everyone. But the point is, you have to figure out what works for you. I like to eat a lot in a little bit of time, and that may not be the way that works for you guys. You might like to spread yours out over a 4 or 5 hour window on a regular basis. But the only way for you to know that is to try different things. And so that was the point, is learn about all the different protocols. Some people like having a down and an update literally every other day. That's not how I approach it. But that doesn't mean that it wouldn't work well for other people. So I just sometimes think that people want success so bad that they think, okay, Jackie has found success. I need to know exactly what she did, and that's the only way that I can find it. And I don't want people to feel like that. That is just not the case. So the whole point of the video, and I think most people got this, was do research, really understand why fasting is successful for people, but understand all the different ways you can implement it. You can do ADF every other day. You could do like I do. I like to do a down day and then an up day about once a week. And it just throws variety in there. Some people like to do OMAD, except for on the weekends. And then the weekends, they have longer fasts. There's so many ways to implement it, but you kind of have to figure out what works best for you. You know, I'm a mom of 3. I stay home during the day and I like generous portions. That's probably not going to fit all of you to a T. So just work on what works for you. But I wasn't saying, oh, it doesn't matter if you fast or if you don't fast. I think fasting has so many benefits, weight loss and otherwise. I was just saying there's lots of protocols within fasting. So I'm just going to catch up on comments here for a moment. Hi from Minnesota. My husband has lots of family in Minnesota. So don't you know? And they all do really say that. Let's see. Never in my life be able to manage a lifestyle that allow me to be a normal weight. I honestly, Vanessa, had the same feelings. I constantly thought, I'm either going to be losing weight and not enjoying food or stay overweight. At some point, I'm just going to have to deal with it. And I'm very grateful that we've kind of both found an answer. Yeah. And Vanessa says she copies me, but she eats earlier. That's just another way to be flexible. I like to eat later in the day. I like to have it to look forward to. For instance, I made 18 mini loaves of banana bread today. We had bananas going bad. I baked. I love baking while I'm fasting because it kind of gets me excited. I get to have the joy of baking. The smells are amazing. And then I have it to look forward to. So I still have the 18 mini loaves on my oven cooling off, and I get to look forward to it still. Yep, Charlene's sharing that she likes a shorter eating window. Yeah, I agree. As I have longer eating windows, my food choices, they're just not the greatest. And I've kind of gone over that. I'm not super embarrassed about my food choices because I know they're going to keep getting better. But the longer my eating window is open, the more less desirable choices I'll make. I'm super glad I see a number of comments, people saying that they feel great while fasting. So do I. Jennifer asked, do I take electrolytes? I don't. However, on that note, a lot of people pointed out that my legs being super sore in my 72-hour fast, which was the worst part about it to me, was probably due to low electrolytes. And so I'm looking into, I don't know if anyone's ever done liquid IV. They actually contacted me and said they want to send me free product. They're not paying me or sponsoring me, but I'm like, hey, I would love to try something for free to see if that helps. And I turn 35 next month and I plan to do maybe an extended fast into my birthday. And I thought it'd be great to have something to try for free before I do another extended fast. So I don't know, has anyone tried liquid IV? I have, but before my consideration right now, no, I've never taken electrolytes. There are so many people. Lithuania. Have you been on before? I feel like that sounds so exotic, but also I'm like, as I'm saying it, maybe you have been on, but all over the world. I personally like LMNT. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with them. When I break my fast on up day, do I continue to eat that day? Yes. So on an up day, I have at least lunch and dinner. So in a perfect world, and it never works out perfectly, my goal would be to eat my 500 calorie down day around lunchtime, or I wouldn't eat at all. So if I ate, say, at noon and I had a 15-minute eating window to eat on my down day, on the up day, I would open my window 24 hours later. Again, it doesn't always work out that way. That's my perfect or ideal situation. But I'm really flexible. So if I don't get 24 hours, whatever, I'll eat lunch and dinner the next day and probably dessert of some sort. But my meals probably aren't as large because I'm not like getting everything in. And then between lunch and dinner, I do snack. And I love to go out to lunch with my husband on an up day if he's available during the workday. That's like an added bonus or an extra incentive. So if we go out to lunch, I'll just eat whatever sounds good. And then if my lunch wasn't super big, I probably will snack before dinner. And my up days, I definitely have lunch and dinner though. Okay, 67 years old and sixth week of intermittent fasting. You're very tired. I was very tired, but not 6 weeks in. So that surprises me. I guess I had fatigue and really just felt like I was dragging probably throughout the first 2 weeks. But by 6 weeks, I definitely was over that. So I'm not sure why that could be for you, to be honest. Maybe I guess I don't know why. That's not my experience. I feel actually much more energized when I fast. So maybe talk to your physician. I'm sorry. I wish I had some advice for you. What was the longest fast you've done? From Rose. I did a 72-hour fast. I did it once and it was an experiment, and I was already making dinner for that night. And had I not, I actually wanted to go another night because I felt so good at 72 hours. But I also was looking forward to the dinner that was already going. So I broke my fast. But congratulations on getting 50. That's amazing. Before my 72-hour fast, the longest I had done was 48 hours. I just like the full day increments. So keeping it positive, you get liquid IV from Meijer. I just walked to Meijer this morning. That's one of my exercises of the day. I see. Do I do alternate day fasting? I don't do it like on a regular basis. So I do OMAD 5 days a week, sometimes up to 7 days a week. But if I do a down day, then an up day, I do that like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on what's going on. I haven't done one this week, but I generally do one down day, one up day, and then the rest of the week is OMAD. So you fast 23 hours every day and you have leg cramps. From what I've heard from other people, electrolytes could be the answer. So I don't know, Pink Motivation, if you use electrolytes. I've never done that, but I'm excited to give them a try. So you drink snake juice. Ooh, that's intriguing. I will remember that name. So I will check them out as well. Welcome, Cynthia. I saw you said you're new here. This last week you started with 16.8. Oh, I'm so glad you've never felt this good. I honestly, once I adjusted, I had the same feeling. I'm like, am I going to feel like this forever? And even here's an illustration that I wanted to share with you guys of this week. I had a friend invite my entire family over this week for dinner. I brought dessert. I made apple crisp for everyone. And then she made this delicious spread of Greek chicken. And we had every topping you could think of, rice. She made homemade naan. And the toppings were like Kalamata olives, feta cheese, avocado. She made this really delicious kale and cabbage salad with oil and spice. And I loved that I could go there and I could build and craft my Greek chicken bowl however I wanted without worrying about the calories of the marinade she made. And did she use low-fat yogurt or did she use whole milk yogurt? And all the things. I still, previously when I was on Weight Watchers, I'm sure I would have went and just enjoyed the dinner, but I would have felt bad about it later. So, this friend, she's much healthier of a chef than I am. I'm certain of it, but still thinking about the amount of avocado sitting on there, or how much chicken did I put on, or did I put too many Kalamata olives? I didn't worry about it. I enjoyed my dinner with friends, and I just had the freedom to do that. I loved the dinner. She made a delicious meal, and I didn't have to think about each component or macros or calories. And that freedom, I will never get over how much I love that. Can I give a short explanation of an up day and a down day? Sure. So if you're very new here, you may not know that I started reading Fast, Feast, Repeat. That was the first book I read, and I recommend it. When we're done here, I'll put a link to it in the comments. But Fast, Feast, Fast, Feast, Repeat was written by someone who, she's not a medical professional either, but she has done a lot of research on IF, and she had life-changing experience with it. And she's the one that introduced me to up days and down days. So she's the main basis. Anyways, a down day is when you eat up to 500 calories or less. So it's essentially like a small meal that gets you to bridge between two different longer fasts. So I'll fast, say 18 hours. I'll eat 500 calories or less. Sometimes I just don't eat at all. And then I'll fast at least 18 hours again. So it's kind of like a cycle. I'm eating less this day, and then to make up for it, I eat more this day. And there's a lot of benefits. When you have a down day, you're really increasing the autophagy that you experience through a fast because you're not breaking the fast with full meals or an entire normal fasting, normal meal plan. So if I normally eat a lot of food or 2,500 calories or whatever, it's much smaller. So my fasting window continues on quicker than before. Or if I eat nothing, of course, it just keeps going. So you're getting more autophagy benefits and really keeping your body guessing. One thing that I read was, I'm trying to think of how she explained it, but basically you want to keep your body guessing because your body can adapt. If I'm only eating 1 hour every single day, the same hour, my body's not going to burn the stored fat as quickly as if every day it's going to be like, oh, are we eating 15 minutes today and 500 calories, or are we eating for 4 hours? It's not going to know. So it's going to tap into my fat stores every time it needs energy. So I like to vary my schedule. And on top of varying my schedule for like the health benefits, I like the mental flexibility. So I like having some days where I go out to eat for lunch and still eat dinner at home. Even though I'm normally OMAD, it's nice to have the flexibility and the tools to just structure my day. So the down day is 500 calories or less. That's how I implement it. And then on an up day, you eat, according to the book that I read, at least 2 meals in at least 6 hours. And it can be all 3 meals. It can be longer than 6 hours, but that's just the general minimum that she suggests. And that's the path that I follow. Just a second. My voice is cracking now. Okay. First time on the live. Welcome. I have not read Life in the Fasting Lane. Oh, wait. Is that the Jason Fung and Eve Ramos? They all go together in my head. I have read that one, if that's the one. The other one, Fast This Way, I haven't, but I keep adding to my fasting book collection, and I love to read them all. So I'll have to go back and write those down. I'm about 2 weeks in. How long did it take you to see any kind of results? So sometimes I feel great, and other times I'm starving. Do you think? Okay, one, I sleep so much better. She asked I guess I don't know. Scouty. I don't know if you're male or female. So I shouldn't have said she. Anyway, Scouty, I sleep so much better than I did I've never dealt with insomnia, so I don't have that exact experience, but I wake up, I get about 6.5 to 7 hours of sleep every night. I feel so much more rested at the end of the night than I had previously. So my sleep the quality has improved with fasting, but I never have ever had a problem falling asleep. So falling asleep hasn't made a difference to me. I've always been able to fall asleep basically whenever I want to, but I know my sleep quality has improved. So that would lead me to believe that potentially it could help with insomnia. I didn't weigh myself or take any measurements for the first 4 weeks, which was again suggested by the Fast Feast Repeat because I wanted to give my body time to adjust. And I did lose 4 pounds in the first 4 weeks, and I lost inches, but I hate measuring myself. So I haven't kept up with that. And I don't remember what it was, but I did early on, and all the videos are still out there. I did a weekly update every single week where you can see kind of my progress. But off the bat, I lost 4 pounds in 4 weeks. And then I was losing about 1 to 2 pounds a week, especially if I made sure I did a down day and then an up day. I really feel like that helped my weight loss journey. But then if you listen to my dad's story, he is an intermittent faster as well. And it took him about 6 months to lose weight, but he felt really good. And he just kept at it. And then he eventually went to OMAD, and then he started losing weight about 6 months in, and he has seen a lot of weight loss, but it took him a long time of sticking with it and believing that it was doing well for his body. So everyone has a different journey. But if you feel good, I would certainly not give up if you're not seeing the numbers move yet. Go off of how you feel. Fasting days, on your fasting days, do I take any supplements? Well, I fast every day, and I try to take the magnesium, which is, I just get an over-the-counter one, kind of whatever's on sale. So I get whatever's on sale. It's not one that I necessarily know to recommend. It's just over-the-counter magnesium, 400 milligrams. And I do take that every day in my eating window. I say every day, but sometimes I forget. Let me see here. Do you have to come? Yeah, the book I was referring to is Fast Feast Repeat by Jen Stevens. I see that, Karen, you helped afterwards. Thank you. Hello from Washington, Twilight territory. That's hilarious. Does up day have to come after down day, or can it be the opposite way around? I actually think that's a really interesting concept. I really don't know, because I in the book, Jen mentions refeeding. You don't want your body to think it's starving. So I guess it would kind of depend on if you did the giant up day and then you had the down day. What does the refeed look like after the down day? Are you making your body still think it's not getting enough? And in the short term, if you do that every once in a while, I wouldn't think it's a big deal. And personally, I would, if there was a time where I had an up day and then I wanted to feel better and do a down day, I don't know that I would necessarily feel like I have to do an up day the next day, but it wouldn't be what I do every single time, because again, your body's going to adapt. So if it feels like, okay, we know when she eats a lot, she's suddenly not going to eat, and then she's going to eat even less, it's going to save some of the fat instead of burning it. It's going to store it for those times where it feels like it may not get enough. That would be my concern. But again, I'm not a medical person, and I've never done an up day followed by a down day. First 7 ages. So you had Chick-fil-A today for the first time in ages, and it's still hard for you not to worry about it. Honestly, I think the best way to get over those thoughts is to just keep doing it. And that's based on my personal experiences. So I think the more that you see, hey, I can continue with intermittent fasting and I didn't have a catastrophic setback by going to Chick-fil-A, you're going to just see, okay, this is a pretty flexible lifestyle. And the more that you exercise the freedom and the flexibility, and yes, I'm not talking about like every day you're going through a drive-through and really seeing the benefits, but I'm saying when you don't beat yourself up over it and you allow yourself to, for whatever reason, Chick-fil-A sounded good or it was convenient or you were with people that wanted it, and then you continue your fasting journey and you're like, hey, you know what? I enjoyed it because it's Chick-fil-A. Who doesn't enjoy that? And then I kept fasting and I'm continuing to see success. It's just going to really give you the buy-in that this lifestyle is sustainable. And so February, March, April, May. So you're about 3 months in. I still sometimes, and this is kind of different, but every once in a while I look in the mirror and I feel like I have not ever lost weight. And I just feel like if you've dieted as much as I feel like I have since having children, constantly dieting or not, it's just hard to sometimes shake the diet mentality. And I don't deal with it often, but every once in a while, mine is more like, I have a meal that I feel like bloated the next morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, is all my weight back? And logically, I know that doesn't make sense. But I also know that the longer I go without having those thoughts, the better I'm going to be in the long run. I don't know if that makes sense. So the more I continue to fast, I'm almost 2 years in, I have those thoughts less frequently. And I hope that by exercising the flexibility, you'll continue to feel better about your choices and less like you failed yourself, because you can continue to go without feeling like a failure. I feel like I just mumbled a lot. I'm sorry. Okay. I see there's a constipation question, but it's gone. Which magnesium for constipation? I don't know. I probably should have looked into that for better. I just take, like I said, an over-the-counter magnesium supplement. It's 400 milligrams. I don't know. I'm sorry. But it did help with constipation. Okay, so you're talking to someone else. You hit a plateau. You had surgery 3 weeks ago, and you're ready to start up again. Yeah, I had my tonsils out. And it's hard actually, because it was my throat, it actually made it easier. But I really, like with the medication, you just have to be careful. So get back on it, but give yourself grace and let yourself heal first. That's obviously better in the long run. Thank you for helping with the magnesium question. Did I find myself eating all of the delayed foods from the previous day in your eating window? Yes, sometimes. At first, I would do that, but then I wouldn't get to enjoy my dinner as much because I was pretty darn full by the time I got to dinner. And the one thing that I've never given myself the ability to stop doing is I maintain that 18-hour fast. I think probably maybe 7 times in almost 2 years, I don't do at least 18 hours because I know myself. And if I don't get the 18 hours in regularly, I will go, crazy, because yes, I'll have some really poor eating windows, but if I get my 18-hour fast, I know I will stay on track. So if I want to enjoy dinner, I learned that I can't open my eating window with everything that I thought of. And the further I get into my fasting journey, the less I have. I don't really think about the things I didn't eat anymore, but I know exactly what you mean. And I definitely had days where I knew the 10 items that I was opening my eating window with, especially at the very, very beginning. And I feel like, yes, it's counterproductive in some ways. Like, I understand that feeling like, okay, well, I just fasted to eat all of this junk and all these calories. But I don't think the way you feel and the way that you don't get to enjoy the rest of your eating window is going to make you keep doing that. You're going to get better at fasting. You're going to get better at controlling your eating window just because of what feels good and the joy that you get out of an actual satisfactory meal. That was my experience. May 1st. Welcome, May 1st. So you are new, and congrats on starting the journey. And I'm glad to see you reading Fast Feast Repeat. It definitely changed my life. Okay, so somehow I got stuck on these. So Amber, do you take like creamy coffees in the morning? I'm guessing. I feel like I was very lucky in that because I was very poor in college and I had an employer that gave us free coffee, I basically lived off black coffee until lunchtime because it was free. And that made me start liking black coffee. So I've never put stuff in my coffee. I've definitely had lattes and I like lattes, but I've always liked black coffee. And I definitely think it made it much easier for me to fast because I could find a lot of joy in my black cup of coffee. Uh-oh, there are a lot of comments. I don't know if it was lagging, but it just bounced. I am so far from an Ironman athlete level that I have no thoughts on that. But I will say, when I do things like last summer, I mulched our front gardens and first, before we mulched, we put pea stone gravel, or maybe it was 2 summers ago. All these cubic yards in our driveway. I preferred to do all of the work in a fasted state because I felt so good while I'm fasting. I'm doing 75 hard, but I don't do hard workouts. With 75 hard, I have to do 2 workouts a day that are at least 45 minutes. And I prefer to get them done before my eating window because I just feel very energized. And once I eat, I feel more sluggish, but I'm certainly not at Ironman level. I know there's a lot of athletes that do fasting, like Apollo Ono, the Olympic speed skater. All I could think of was figure skater. He is an intermittent faster, and he is definitely a world-class athlete. So I feel like most of us, probably what we do, can do the same thing, can work out in a fasted state. See, I have no experience not worrying I'm eating too much. Or not eating enough because I eat a lot. So I've never lost my appetite. And I don't know if anyone else in the comments can reply to that. Let's see here. The nice thing about being on my computer is I can scroll a little bit. I eat all the things I've been doing. Exactly. So I hope I'm saying this right. Lorene, she's touching on exactly what I did. When she first started, she has all the things that she denied herself. She lists carbs, ice cream, sugar, cereal. It's funny you mentioned cereal. I don't know how many boxes of I can't even think of what it is. It was a Christmas, my first winter fasting. It's Elf cereal. It looks like Kix, and it had marshmallows in it. I loved having that as like a dessert because my husband always ate cereal right before he went to bed, and I never did it. And I did it a lot. I mean, not like every night, but I enjoyed it. And I haven't even thought of it because it no longer sounds good, but it is kind of something where you just get it out of your system. And then once you're used to fasting, and today I'm opening my eating window, I've been trying to eat more protein. And that experiment I don't know if I like it or not, but I cannot wait to eat pepitas and pistachios. I have been loving it. They're high protein, and that's what I'm thinking of eating once I open my eating window. And it's not because I'm dieting. It's not because I can't have a donut instead. It's because my body is like, sweet, those pistachios are amazing. Can't wait to get them. And I think the more you do it, the more you'll experience that. Do I have a 6-day regimen? No. If I feel like I need to eat or I want to eat, as long as I get 18 hours, it might be 18 hours and 1 minute, I'll allow myself to eat. However, if I'm sick, my number one comfort item is black coffee. It's always been that way before I was a faster. I just get a lot of comfort from black coffee. So fasting is probably what I'll do more of than anything. Oh, thank you, Maria. I really appreciate the kind comment. I have never had my adrenal tested or anything. Every once in a while people ask about that in the comments. I do get annual blood tests. I actually am up for my 2022. I don't know if that would show up in a normal blood panel, but since I have been fasting so much, I do switch to decaf in the afternoon. I haven't made the switch yet, but probably my next cup of coffee will be decaf, or I'll probably go to Panera and fill up my travel mug with decaf because I can't sleep with caffeine like I used to. But my adrenal glands may hate me. I don't know that, to be honest. Yes. Thank you, Tara. I totally agree that is the freedom. And honestly, I've lost weight. I'm in a normal weight category, but the freedom from thinking, and I don't know why I've been saying this for 2 years, but I swear, I feel like I'm about to tear up. I don't think about food like I used to. Oh my gosh, it's past 2:00. Dang it. These things go so fast for me. I don't think about food like I used to because I'm not kidding. And I feel like if you don't understand, it's very hard to explain. But I constantly regretted what I ate, thought about what I was going to eat, fantasized about what I could eat, or dieted hardcore for 4 weeks, lost weight, and then got so sick of it that I swore I'd never diet again. And I don't have that anymore. And it is the best part of fasting. Yes, I'm saying that as a normal weight person and someone that doesn't like hate my reflection anymore. And I know that it's easier to say that when I'm achieved the weight loss goal that I was looking for. Hi, buddy. But the fact that I don't fantasize about food anymore is amazing. And I look forward to my eating window, but it's not in an obsessive way. It's in a, hey, that's going to be great. I can appreciate it, but I can also wait for it way. And days like yesterday where I went to my daughter's school and I served them breakfast before they had standardized testing and was frying sausage and cutting cinnamon sugar bread and giving out yogurts or oatmeals. And the food smelled amazing, but I didn't like obsess about how I said no. It's so freeing. And it's amazing. Okay. I'm going to have to go, but I just want to see if there's anything I missed that I feel like can't wait. I'm not sure if I've answered this, but any suggestions for constipation? For me, drinking enough water and magnesium. Okay. Elisa asked if I'm looking to lose any more weight. My goal all along was to be in the 140s. I'm 5'10". 140s is where I used to be before I had children. But my body is like in love with 150. It doesn't matter what I do. Even through 75 hard, I'm at 150. So I honestly don't care if I lose more weight. I'm just so grateful I'm not gaining weight, and it's definitely within a normal range. Okay, my son is like tapping on me. So I am so sorry if I'm missing other questions. I will try to maybe start, or maybe next week I can go a little later, but we have kindergarten testing. You want to come say hi, Cal? My son's right here. Come here. So wish him luck. He's testing for kindergarten today. He's very nervous. Let's see. I don't drink as many sodas. April, you and me both. That's actually my video this Saturday. I used to drink 2 large Diet Cokes a day when I worked. I didn't work every day, but when I would drive back and forth, I'd have one on my way there, one on the way back. I can't even finish a Diet Coke anymore. I still like them every once in a while, but it's not an obsession. Okay. Say goodbye. Thank you, guys. See you next week. We'll see you Saturday, but live next week.